Good day, students. My name is Odufeso Tajudeen. Students, you are welcome to Odufeso Tajudeen online class. I'm your economics teacher. Today we want to discuss on demand. Subtopic under demand, we want to discuss on demand schedule and curve. Okay. At the end of this class, students, you should be able to define demand. You should be able to state the law of demand. You should be able to draw demand curve. List two types of demand scale. Now let's begin to explain the concept of demand. What is demand? In economics, demand is different from what we call wants or need. What do you understand by wants? Want or need refer to mere desire for a commodity, but there is no backup of willingness and money to purchase such commodity. No backup, there's no money, but you just desire to have such commodity, and that is what we call wants or need, which is different from demand. Now, what is demand now? Demand may be defined as the quantity of goods or amount of quantity of goods and services that consumers are willing and able to buy at alternative price over a given period of time, and that is what we call demand. The amount of goods and services that consumer, I mean you and I, consumers, are willing and able to buy at a given price over a given period of time, and that is what we call demand. Student, please, I want you to jot down for the purpose of assessment, for the purpose of feedback. Please jot down. Now let's move forward to the concept again. Now look at the chart on the screen. It's actually talking about what we mean by what demand. An economist's principles referring to a consumer's desire to purchase goods and services and willingness to pay a price for a specific goods, for a specific commodity. You can see the charts showing consumers presenting what we call money to purchase a particular commodity, and that is what we call demand. Okay, look at another chart talking about the concept of demand. As you can see the chart on the screen, you can see consumers lining up to purchase a commodity from the supplier. As you can see, with the money with them and willingness, passion to buy a commodity from the supply, and that is what we call demand. Okay, let's move to the law of demand. The law of demand states that all things being equal, in economics we call it ceteris paribus. What did I call it? Ceteris paribus. All things being equal, demand, the law of demand states that the higher the price, the lower the quantity of goods that will be demanded. Vice versa. You can say it in another way, that the law of demand states that the lower the price, the higher the quantity of goods that will be what demanded. Vice versa, or all things being equal, or ceteris paribus. The law of demand we are talking about, this law of demand we are talking about, is also regarded as the first law of demand and supply. Please, student, listen very well. I mean, the first law of demand and supply is also known as law of demand. So I can ask you during exams, you can see it anywhere, to state, anybody can ask you to state the first law of demand and supply. We are actually talking about the law of what? Demand. We state that the higher the price, the lower the quantity of goods that will be demanded. Now look at the chart again, talking about the laws of demand. A fundamental principles of economics that states that at higher price, consumer will demand a lower quantity of goods. Vice versa, or ceteris paribus. As you can see, another chart talking about the law of demand and supply. That is the law of demand. The higher the price, the lower the quantity of goods that will be demanded. Okay, Let's move to the demand schedule. What do you understand by demand schedule? Demand schedule can be defined as a table showing the relationship between the price and the quantity of good that will be demanded. In other words, we can define demand schedule as a table which show the differences between the quantity of commodity that will be bought at the various price and at a given period of time. And that is what we mean by demand schedule. It's just a table showing the differences between the price and the quantity that will be demanded. Now let me give you an examples. Look, as you can see on the screen, this is a typical example of demand schedule showing the price of yam in the first column, then the second column showing the quantity demanded. This table is actually talking about demand schedule. We can convert this table to a demand curve, as you can see on your screen. Now let's move to the demand curve. Before we get to the demand curve, we have two types of demand schedule. What did I say? Two types of demand schedule. One, individual demand schedule. Two, we also have market demand schedule. Please jot down for the purpose of assessment. Okay, let's move to the demand curve. Demand curve is a graph showing the relationship between price and quantity of a commodity demanded. In other words, we can explain demand curve as a diagrammatical representation, a graphic representation of a demand schedule. And what we have in the demand schedule, we can represent it, we can put it in a graph showing the price and the quantity of goods that will be demanded. Look at the demand curve on the screen. So demand curve starts from the left to the right, and you must label the demand. You must label it very well. The D represent demand. Then in the horizontal axis we have the price. Then we have the starting point. We must start from 0. Then we have the horizontal axis. The vertical axis is talking about the price. The horizontal is talking about the quantity demanded. Okay, this is another curve, demand curve. As you can see, the vertical axis we have the price, then the horizontal we have the quantity demanded. Okay, let's talk about the factors affecting demand. We have many factors that affect the activities of demand. We have prices. Prices affect demand activities. Then the price of other commodity also affect demand. Income of the consumer also affect the demand. Changes in taste of consumer, of course, we have individual differences in having a different changing in taste, style, and so on. So these are factors affecting demand. Then we have population. Yes, population also affect demand. Demand. Then period of festival also affect demand, either positive or negative. We have expectation of changing in price. Taxation is another factors affecting demand. Change in fashion is another factor. Weather and climate, government policy, and so on. These are the factors affecting demand. Okay, now so that I hope you understand the concept very well. Oh, beautiful. Now let's take this evaluation, and I want to get feedback from you. Let me know, maybe you understand the concept. What is demand? State the laws of demand. Draw demand curve. List two types of demand. Okay, now let's take this as an assignment so that you can continue to learn after this video. So students, don't forget to take the assignment to mention types of demand that you know. Now I'm going to send you this link. You are going to continue to learn using your parent phone to connect. Go to the YouTube and search for the concept of demand explained by Tajudeen Odufeso, so that you can learn more and memorize and understand the concept of demand. Students, thank you and God bless you. Bye bye.